Why does the Bible see vision in three ways? So the first thing that the Bible uses that to describe is obviously physical sight. Like if you read Genesis chapter 27, verse 1, you see that the eyes of Isaac were considered to be growing dim because of his old age. Or if you read Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 19, the way the Israelites had physically witnessed the miracles of God. So there's that. That one's kind of all over the place in the Bible. But then the second kind has to do with knowledge. That is, when you know God, then it's like you have spiritual eyesight. If you read Ephesians chapter 1, verse 18, you see Paul talking about eyes of understanding. And in Luke chapter 10, verses 23 to 24, Jesus Christ said, "Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear," right? So it's not referring to the physical stuff, because there are many people who hear the gospel physically but don't believe it. It's referring to the spiritual eyesight, which some people, by the grace of God, are blessed to have, so that when they hear the gospel message, they receive it positively. And this one's particularly important because, for us Christians, right, we believe that Jesus Christ said he would return and stuff like that. If you read Matthew chapter 24 and similar passages. And the return of Christ, according to St. Paul, is not a physical kind of return where he'll be returning to Jerusalem or some other city. If you read 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 16, he said that, "Henceforth know we no man after the flesh. Yea, though we have known Christ after the flesh, yet henceforth know we him no more." So his coming will not be a physical one, and that's what Jesus Christ said we should watch and pray. The watch obviously is not a physical kind of watching, but it's a spiritual kind, where we understand the signs of the times which Jesus Christ gave us in Matthew chapter 24 for the sole purpose of helping us to identify his coming. It's like we can see something that is spiritual through our knowledge of it. On the other hand, if we don't have such knowledge, then we become like the Pharisees, who did not know that 36 and a half years after they killed the Son of God, they would be destroyed by the Romans and things like that. That's what happens when you don't have those kind of eyes. If you read Luke chapter 19, verses 41 to 44, you see Jesus Christ elaborated. But then the third kind has to do with experiencing certain events. That is, has nothing to do with your physical sight now, but going through certain life events. It's like you're seeing something in a metaphorical sense. If you read Isaiah chapter 26, verse 11, you see God Almighty using two kinds of sight there. The fact that his people, because they were rebellious against him, they would not see. That is, they don't have knowledge, they don't understand me, and so on. But then he said they will see. That is, they will be punished. It's like when you tell someone, you will see when they do something bad to you. It's kind of in that light. That's one side. But then you also have the aspect of being able to experience the blessings of God, being able to have a relationship with God as a result. It's also a kind of sight. If you read Matthew chapter 5, verse 8, Jesus Christ said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." It's not a physical kind of sight, because in Exodus chapter 33, verse 20, and John chapter 1, verse 18, we see that we humans cannot physically see God because he's a spirit, according to John chapter 4, verse 24, but we see him in that light. We experience his blessings. That's why Job had said in Job chapter 19, verses 25 and 26, that "I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God." That's another example of the eyes or sight being used in that light. So yeah, I just decided to make this video to talk about the three different ways in which the Bible uses the word, eyes, sight, or any kind of synonymous term. If you liked it, then I would appreciate if you click the like button. And if you want to join this growing community of Bible enthusiasts, then I'd appreciate if you click the like button and also the subscribe button. And if you have any other verses that I left out, put them in the comment section below so that we can all be enriched with more wisdom. Anyway, have a good day, and God bless you.